Okay, it says we're live. Let me just check in all these groups to make sure the video is working for a moment here. No. Let's check here on LinkedIn. Yes, I can see us on LinkedIn. That is good. And let's check on YouTube. Just making sure the stream is working here. Yes, I can see it. Okay, great. And I wasn't able to check on Facebook for some reason. Let me try again. On Facebook. Yes, it's working this time. Great. Okay, good. So, hello everyone. Welcome to this 21-day challenge participants interview. If you can see and hear us clearly, could you please let us know in the chat so that we know this is working? That would be great. And feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat as well, and let us know who you are, where you're watching from today, and anything you want to share about yourself. That would be great as well. So we can get started here. I'm joined by Ilse and by Amrita. Hi guys, good to have you today. And let's introduce ourselves to the audience briefly. I can begin and then I'll pass it to Ilse and Amrita. So my name is Tara. I am a teacher entrepreneur, and I came across James and his 21-day challenge in March 2020, so over 2 years ago now. And that was at a very good time for me because I was working for a teaching platform, an online teaching platform in February, and they decided to increase the percentage that they took from our pay from 15% to 30% in one day, and they didn't give us any warning. And it was already that we were competing against each other and this and that. So that was tricky to deal with at times and not ideal. And I was looking for a way to go independent. Well, then when I read James's ebook, that made things really clear for me, and that actually inspired me to take the challenge in March 2020. And I can say from that moment, I really haven't looked back. This was what I needed to get my business up and running, and now I'm helping lawyers improve their communication skills in English. And really enjoying it and enjoying the flexibility of being able to work where I want and also earn a higher rate to support my lifestyle, basically. So yeah, that's a little about me. And let's go to Ilse. Hi, Ilse.
Hi, hello.
How are you doing?
So, what should I do? I should introduce myself. My name is Ilse, and I finished the challenge quite a time ago, like in 2020, July. And I've been on and off, really concentrating on this niche teaching for about 1 year, more or less. And I come from business background. In different from many other teachers, I have had business experience of more than 20 years in real estate, and it's logically that my niche is real estate, so I really love it. It's simply love it. And how I came to this, when the first pandemic started, I think the first was in 2020, spring or something, and I was out of doing nothing because everything was closed. I started coaching my other kind of colleagues in real estate, teaching them English. And then somehow, I stumbled across challenge in Facebook, as many of us or all of us, and read James' ebook. And I, being in business all of my life, like more than 20, 30 years, I realized that this is really what I was looking for. And I just didn't simply jumped at the challenge. I finished it, but I had some other business running. And I really came back to that only after 6 months. But since then, I have had a number of students from the niche, and it's a really great opportunity if you want to develop something online, which I wanted to do because I wanted a business which allows me to travel the world and work from any country in the world. and also, you can combine it with a nice income, and you can scale later with business. So it kind of gave all it in one package. So that's why I jumped at it, and I've been on and off due to some family and other conditions, but there's really great potential there. You can see that by watching interviews, or talking to some other people from this niche. So that's briefly about me. And I'm from Latvia, and I live in Latvia. So yep, that's briefly about
Beautiful.
me.
Beautiful, Ilzy. It's great to hear about you, and it's been amazing having you on the journey as well. And can relate to a lot of what you said, and really cool what you're doing. So thanks for joining us today. And we also have Amrita. Hi, Amrita. Welcome.
Hi, Tara. Hi, Elsie. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
And
Amrita.
thank you for having me here.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you so much.
yeah, I'll quickly introduce myself. So, I currently work in corporate. I work in corporate learning and development, and I am currently the C suite advisor to my company, which is a construction company. I have over 28 years actually of corporate experience across various things. In 2019, I had had a redundancy and I had got into entrepreneurship. I had opened my own online store where I was selling pet products. Yeah, I was selling portable dog water bottles to pet parents in the United States, in Canada, in the UK, and in Australia, New Zealand. So, 6 months into that business, my present company found me on LinkedIn. So, I'm a very big fan of LinkedIn. And they are in a construction company, a 50-year-old profit-making company here in the UAE, and they were looking for somebody to set up their learning and development here. So I joined them in January 2020. I had to discontinue my business because it was taking up a lot of my time, my effort, and energy, and because I'd got my new job. So, anyways, now fast forward. This was, I think, in March of 2022. And like everyone, I don't know how I scrolled and I saw the 7 day challenge of James. And it's you just pay $1 a day, $7. That was the challenge, and I said this, and I'm a lifelong learner. That's how I like to address myself, because whatever training programs or anything where I can educate and upskill myself, I like to do. And that 7 day program was so fantastic that I completed it, and I automatically got entrance into the 21-day program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. And that's where I met Tara and James and everybody. So I'm actually just at the cusp of leaving my present job. I've started my own company called Entrant Middle East, and it's to provide HR consultancy services to corporates here. And one of the items is learning and development, because there is a huge demand for English, advanced English communication and presentation skills here in the Middle East, because there are a lot of non native English speakers here. And in industries like IT, in banking, in finance, in real estate, and in construction. Yeah. Because of my company, which is construction, where I work with a lot of engineers who are from the Middle Eastern
Yeah, there
community,
wasn't.
in 2020, when I had joined, I had done a deep dive analysis of their training needs, and a big thing that had come out was communication skills in English, both written and business. So this 21-day challenge is fantastic for somebody like me. It's come at the perfect time because I had to identify my niche. James does that fantastically, and I was able to do that. And based on that, now I've worked with Tara a lot, and I've sort of put together the foundation, because I've already had a meeting with a potential client who's the CEO of an HR company, and he has asked me to submit a business proposal because he wants to run it across businesses here to talk of the potential of advanced communication and presentation skills for the niche that I have mentioned. So
Mm-hmm.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
the whole details is given in the 21 days. And if anyone is looking at advancing that as a business, I would recommend it very highly because I have everything laid out. And now it's just about, unfolding it and presenting it. So I had my first strategy session with the CEO last week, and tomorrow I have to submit the business proposal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So fingers crossed. And you're a great example of someone who, followed the steps, put yourself out there, got out of your comfort zone, and you're already reaping the feedback and the benefits from that. So very fascinating, beautiful, great to have you. And Rita, thank you so much for being here with us. Appreciate you. And so, yeah, it's good to hear these things. And that's very interesting. I think that Ilse and Amrita are people, I'm just noticing after listening to them, they do have some business acumen and knowledge. Well, I can say I was not like that. All I had ever done was teach ESL. So I do want to say that we have people join us in the challenge from all backgrounds, which is amazing. But you can be in a nice community of like-minded people. We have traditional teachers, non-traditional teachers, business, and everyone has something to contribute and to bring to the table, which is one of the best parts, I think. For those of you watching, welcome. It's good to have you guys here. Hey, James. Hey, Marie. Hello, Imelda from Austin, from my hometown, I guess. Hi, Gail from the UK. Hi, Sadia. It's good to have you. And hello, Nacho. Thank you guys for being here. Feel free to write any comments or anything you want to say in here. If you guys don't mind giving this video a like or a love, that can really help the video be shown to more people who might benefit from seeing this interview. So thank you guys. Okay, so let's get into it, and we can cover some things about the 21-day challenge. So I do want to ask you guys, I know you've already shared some great insights already, but what would you say were your biggest takeaways that you got from taking the 21-day challenge? So maybe Elsie, we can start with you.
I think it's because I've seen on the media so many teachers trying really fighting this lonely fight, and trying all things and spending time and, because if you really want to go independent and have your own business, even very small in the beginning, though the sky's the limit here, really. I'm just, telling that from my business background, seeing other people succeed who have done much more than I, but I have no doubt about that. I'll get there too. But it's really, just don't waste time. It's like how much is challenge now? It's less than $200. I mean, it's really the best investment because we can spend so much time and so much money effortlessly. I mean, uselessly. But here it's in such a packaged, wonderful way. Just you just commit these 21 days. And don't worry if on work days you don't have time, because I also very often squeeze it on weekends because, life is life and is going on. But it's really, I think I would say quite fearlessly, it's one of the best, I think, products on the market. I haven't seen other alternatives because James also with his he's coming from China. Also, you can see this Eastern culture there. He's down to the details. He's like, putting spoon into your mouth. I'm, coming from Western Europe, we're kind of, we very, very often intuitively just, kind of guess things. But in this course, it was so amazing. I told to my husband, every details is just, thought out and elaborated. And it's just a great course. Even if you will not do anything with this, you will learn so much. Because before this course, I had no idea what is Facebook group, what do you do on the LinkedIn, what about, how do you market social media, nothing. But James Liu takes you step by step, and it's not overwhelming. It's quite intense, but not too much. It's very well balanced because each day it's very doable. And after this 21 days, you feel like really you have discovered a new world, and it's totally clear what to do. You don't have this confusion. You have an amazing community. Really, if you want to go independent, leave those platforms or wherever you're working, because I come from business background, so I have totally different. I'm totally differently looking at this. I'm still running part-time and real estate business, but it's amazing opportunity. Just jump at it. don't think too much, because you will not lose it. Even if you don't do anything, you learn so much. But if you want to go in this direction, all I can do, just do it. And now in May, not in June or July, because life is going on and time is passing. So just jump at it. All that I can say.
Great, fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Ilse. I agree. And I mean, one of the biggest things we hear from people after having taken the challenge is, I wish I hadn't put it off. I kept putting it off, and I wish I had just gotten started already. That's one of the biggest things people often say. So I totally agree. And I think the very step-by-step nature of the challenge is what we need to, like you said, not get overwhelmed. When we get overwhelmed, it's very hard to continue to take action. But James has broken each day, step by step. Each day builds upon the next, and it makes it much more easier to get through and to implement and to actually get to a new place in terms of starting your business. So yeah, really good to hear that from you, Ilse. Thanks for sharing. What about you, Amrita? What was, one of your biggest takeaways from the challenge?
Yeah. So, like LZ, because I also have an entrepreneur background, and because I have teaching as learning and development, when the pandemic happened in 2020, it didn't affect me, but I knew so many of my friends and colleagues who were absolutely lost because they didn't know anything else, and they wanted to take up business and they had no clue what to do. So this teacher entrepreneur challenge is, firstly, it'll teach you on your subject, so you'll decide on who you want to market to, and everything is step by step. Then James goes into the whole sales piece, which is excellent, and then he goes into the whole marketing piece, which is what you need. So how you market yourself on various channels. So what you get actually is a complete 100% package, including the scripts of what you have to say and use. And I used it already in my strategy sessions. The community is absolutely fantastic. The support is 5 star. Tara was there, and Christy was there, and Robbie was there. James himself was there. So, that's there. And the biggest, I think, what was really excellent was the mindset videos which James puts in, which you definitely need to have if you're starting off, because business itself can be very scary, and stepping into the unknown, moving into a sphere where you have to talk to people to say pay you for your services, can be really like Mount Everest for a lot of people. So the way it's given is so well laid out that it gives you the confidence to take the next step forward. So if anybody is on the fence, I mean, I was not in a situation where I was on the fence where I had to choose. I mean, I just did one and I led to the next one. So if anybody is thinking about it, Warren Buffett, everybody knows who he is, and he always says the best investment you can do is in yourself. So this is one investment. You can take it from me in writing, whoever you are. If you have to invest in yourself, you will never regret it for the rest of your life. This is one investment which will really pay you off. You will learn so much. You will be a new person. You won't realize how capable you are of the things that you can do once you take that challenge.
Very nice. Well said. Very well said. Thank you so much for sharing those points, Amrita. And yeah, it's amazing how much growth you will have in just 3 short weeks. It really is. You will be a different person. You will have a new level of confidence. You will start to think like an entrepreneur because, as Amrita said, there are mindset videos. James has identified the biggest mindset blocks that teachers or people starting out on this journey tend to come up against and how to overcome those. And that is very useful to keep going on the journey. And yeah, I love what you said about the community as well. Everybody's moving forward, and that does help motivate you in that group setting. And yeah, very good quote from Warren Buffett. Yeah, I think investment in ourselves is really the best investment with the biggest potential payoff that we can really see. So that's a great point. Thank you so much, Amrita.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
So
just, sorry, Tara, I'll just like to add, like, for example, even the learning, usually when people take trainings, when people do take, especially if it's a business training, for you to see the ROI of what's coming in can take forever sometimes. But when I talk in terms of ROI, I'm not just talking in terms of money. I'm talking about the results of your learning, the application of the learning. So everything that is given, which is given to you, actually, like what Ilzi had said, on a, it's given everything as the scripts. So when you apply what is there, you start seeing the results of that straight away. So
Yeah.
that automatically is a very big confidence booster. And so should anybody be on the fence, we would recommend go ahead and just do
Jump
it.
on.
Yeah, you'll
Just
see
do
the
it.
results of that straight away. Yeah.
And also,
Nike, just do it.
I also wanted to add one more thing, but it's people very often are kind of obsessed, but what if I fail? What is There's no such thing as failure. If you don't try, you don't fail. You don't go to the unknown, which is outside comfort zone. Nothing is gonna change. And also
Yeah.
in this case, there's nothing to lose because you can pace out kind of your own tempo, your own speed, because you can take step by step, make a profile on LinkedIn, start sending out invitations. It's you can really adjust it to your own speed, to your own kind of how much time you have, how much you want to devote it. So you just can't lose. You just can't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't jump right
And
at it. Don't feel guilty. Just take step by step and play with it. Don't be afraid. I just jumped in, and I didn't do it much for 4 or 5 months. When I started getting clients, and just just play with it. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid.
yeah, and I'll just add to that, like with all the social media platforms today, I mean, James talks on about LinkedIn, though he does talk about Facebook and Clubhouse also. But LinkedIn is the most trusted social media platforms. Google loves LinkedIn. So when people are looking for searches, even if you Google, if your profile and everything is correctly done, which is the steps given by James, you will come up as the person of choice in Google and in LinkedIn. And now, as of today, LinkedIn is touching about 1 billion users. And
Wow.
like in 2013, it used to be like earlier people, yes, used to go to LinkedIn for jobs, but that has
Yeah.
totally changed now. The pandemic, it's the most trusted platform for business to business and business to customer platforms. This is actual data which is available freely on the net for anybody to see. So, how you market yourself on LinkedIn and on Facebook and Clubhouse is given in detail. So, if anybody is scared about social media, I don't know what to do on social media, you don't need to worry at all. The steps are all laid out.
Before
Very
James's training, I had no idea what Facebook group is. I was like, Facebook, and I thought LinkedIn is a stiff place for CVs, and now it's
Yeah.
my favorite
Same.
platform because you kind of don't have this excuse me, blah 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 of Facebook. It's really high
Mhm.
quality, high professionals, kind of trusted, safe, not safe, but it's a high quality place, I would say, really, to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Really good points, guys. It's a professional place. It's not only about getting jobs like what I used to think, same as you, Ilzy. Um, people are more open-minded, open to speak, open to doing business. So, and James just really lays it out for you how to get started creating your profile from square one and taking all the guesswork out of it. And also love what you touched on about failure, Ilzy. I would say the only failure is never even giving yourself a chance to start, right? Other than that, failure is just part of the journey, and then we can just adjust and improve. This is what James teaches us in the challenge. So amazing to hear, guys. Thank you. Well, it is called a challenge. So, what did you feel most challenged by in the challenge? I would say. And Rita, maybe we could start with you.
So, see, a challenge means that you have to put in the work. It's not that, you just sit and nothing is going to happen. It's like any work. So, if you like to work, if you like to see the results of your labor, if you like to see the results of your efforts, you will see them. But you have to have the willingness, you have to schedule your time, you've got to prioritize it, and you have to decide that you are going to do it, come what may. It's just 21 days. So even if you set aside, I think, half an hour every day, that's more than enough. dedicated time. Get up half an hour early or sleep half an hour late, if we are all busy working people. I happen to be in the UAE where we have something which is called Ramadan timing. So we work fewer hours. So we work 4 hours less. So it just worked out fine for me. But otherwise, if you don't, you can. And you just have to decide that you want to do it, and you will do it. And the thing is, because James has planned it in such a way that supposing you can't do it every day, you can catch up. There is time to catch up. So then just make sure that, just decide you're going to do it, and that's it. Just take it from there, and then plan your day, plan your time. There is work. Just know that there is work. It's not that it's easy, but you've got to do the work, and you'll see the results.
Very well said. Yes, yes. I mean, there's definitely work involved, but it's manageable for, almost everyone. You can schedule it around your tasks, and there is space to catch up at the end as well. And I was a week behind when I took the challenge due to a family trip. And, I sometimes doubted if I was going to be able to catch up, but I just, went in my room one weekend and just caught up on everything. And then I realized, once I started getting strategy sessions booked after implementing that work, as you said, Amrita, then I realized, okay, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did not put this off any longer. So that makes sense. Thanks for sharing that, Amrita. And what about you, Ilze? What did you find challenging, if anything, about it?
It's really what you commit those during those 21 days that you're gonna do it. Because I was also in the catch-up mode, as very often, and was catching up on weekends. And I think because it differs really, I think the biggest time was really for making those profiles on LinkedIn and Facebook. And when I did it, I showed to my daughters and husband, see what I've done. And they were like, because I was 0, 0, 0 before that with social media and creating something. And but the rest you can really don't worry, because sometimes I did it on work days, sometimes I caught up on weekends. So, but it's totally doable. It's not really like too much. If you sit down and do the work, you'll get through it, because some days are smaller tasks, some days larger, but it's absolutely doable. And yeah, I think it's just again the same phrase, just do it.
If I may just add, sorry, if Elsie you finished, not for me, but I know for some of the participants, finding their niche, they really took a very long time to decide on that. So what I would recommend is, if you're not sure of your niche, just go with one, the one that you feel most comfortable with, even if that's not the one, but just go ahead with that, so you can finish the challenge, and then after that you can decide what to do.
Very good advice too. Yeah, just choose one and go with it, because you're just testing it out. It's not like you can never change it, but if you don't even give yourself a chance to test it out, you're not gonna get anywhere if you're just stuck, if you're just paralyzed and unable to decide. That's a very common challenge for people. So I'm glad you brought that up, Amrita. And of course, you are in this community. You're placed in a special 21-day challenge group with other people going through it at the same time as you. James is in there. I'm in there. Other team members are in there. And anytime you feel stuck, you can just post it. You're going to get an answer within like an hour tops. Probably you're going to get an answer sooner than that. And because we have a lot of participants helping, and then as well as team members helping. So yeah, I mean, anytime you feel stuck, you can just get support.
Just want to add one more thing, which was I just remembered before, which was on my mind before. What was one of the reasons I thought maybe I can't join? First thing is, if you're non-native speaker, relax. I'm also a non-native speaker. 90 or 95% of business English now in the business world is spoken by non-native speakers. So just make sure you explain yourself accurately, you have fluency. Forget that first thing. The second thing is about certificate. I happen to have a degree in teaching English because from university, but I never practiced. So when talking to James and thinking, should I join challenge or not, I was in the middle of TOEFL, and I was so bored. I was like dying. I thought, no, I don't want to continue this. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry saying this, publicly, and now I have worked for a year and a half with, high level clients. No one ever asked me. And really about the certificates with being non-native speaker, because it's a niche teaching. I'm not teaching them ABC, of English. And so it's forget these two things, because you don't need certificates. If you really feel you can do that, you can learn things you need to learn, and you can do that. It's absolutely doable. So don't allow these things really scare you away. I was first doubtful, but when I started doing things, I understood James was totally right about certificates and everything, because it's a totally different game. It's, the client, what they expect from you, your expertise and knowledge of a subject of your niche, and combined with English communication. So it's totally different kind of world.
Absolutely.
To
Absolutely.
encourage, forget it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they really never
So much
ask or
work you,
care
but
about.
actually, when I look back and look at this course, and I'm seeing what I'm providing my clients with, and they have very good results and they have very good responses. There are very few commonalities between these certificates and what they teach in these courses, and what you are expected to deliver to your clients. So it's
Definitely. I'm glad you touched on that. Certificates really don't, I can't say don't matter, but you don't matter in this business. Don't let that be a reason, as Ilse showed, to hold you back from getting started on this business. Because, yeah, we've worked with clients for years now, and no one ever asks us about certificates. It's more about our willingness to help and how we listen to them and how we learn from them when they speak to us. And then we take that information and we put it together in a way that can help them overcome their difficulties. So it's not really about certificates. And I'm also really glad you touched on the non-native speaker thing. Yeah, we have so many non-native teachers teaching, English and different languages. And I would like to argue that they can be better teachers than native speakers, just from them having to have learned the language as well. And I would encourage you to use that as a selling point. Like, hey, I've been in your shoes and I know how to get to where you want to go. Let me show you. So yeah, definitely don't let that be a reason to hold you back from starting this business either. So really glad you brought up those points, Ilse. So hi, Mohammed, and hi, Balakrishna, and good to have you guys here. Welcome. What else, guys? I mean, I feel like we kind of touched on it pretty well, but do you have anything to add about what your favorite thing was about going through the challenge? I mean, you kind of touched on it, but I don't know if you guys have anything else to add there. Amrita?
I will say, I mean, I gave the feedback also. This is by far the best challenge in my life that I have done. I have done a lot of challenges, but this is the best one. You get so much value, you get such practical insight, you learn so much, and everything, like the support is absolutely excellent. The learning is fantastic, the community is great, the teaching is fantastic. That For me personally, it has been an extremely enriching experience. I feel I have grown by leaps and bounds. And this is somebody who has got over 28 years of corporate experience. So, you learn so much. So, it's really been excellent. And I've already started sharing and spreading the word around for this, for anybody. You know, particularly now, like I said, with the pandemic, when I saw so many of my friends absolutely struggling and they didn't know what to do, this gives you a platform about business. It gives you a platform about me. You need to know all those foundational things before you can have a business, and you get everything completely from here. So it's really been excellent.
Thank you so much, Amrita. We're so glad that you took the journey. And yes, it does help you get your business foundation strong, regardless of the background that you come from. So you can move forward with your, independent teaching business with confidence. And it is a proven system, and you just have to follow the steps. So this is something very good about it. Thanks for sharing those takeaways. And Ilse, did you have a favorite part of the challenge that you wanted to share with today's audience?
I don't know, because I took it, I think, almost a year and a half ago, and I think, but one thing is, it's really it keeps improving, like everything what James does, all the other programs inside all this business, it really keeps improving, because the version we had and Amrita had a year and a half later, I think it's it's on a different level already. So, and I think for me it was social media really, and also the whole structure actually. But he really takes all this complicated pie and really kind of divides in such understandable pieces, so it's so easy to really to digest it. And also that I wanted to say, first of all, I'm very business oriented. I say uh, James is not paying to Amrita or for me to, to saying all this. It comes from the heart. And I really wanted to take kind of praise to James' commitment. He's totally committed.
Yes.
And money comes, of course he has to run business, cover costs and make profit, but he's so committed. And again, here again, as a Western European, I really observed first, this is in training, that every smallest details, every smallest video is like put in and explained. And also this kind of Eastern commitment, different cultural background, really, which is really from the positive side. And I really appreciate that. Just James' commitment is amazing to all this. So really.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see his commitment to his niche and to constantly try improving his products, right?
It's amazing. I mean, where we were in July, like 2020, and where it's now, all this, it's a totally different level. He's just climbing the mountain, and so it's amazing. Yeah, and he's not. It doesn't stop there. It's just all the time improving. That's why I think it's not really that you'll finish this challenge and you'll be like a deserted island. The other way around, you'll have such amazing community around you. Like, you'll together will, continue and succeed. And it's really, all I can do is just encourage, nothing else really.
Thank you so much, Ilse. Yeah, it's very inspiring to see his commitment to his niche, and I think it inspires us to be more committed to our niches that we're serving, right? And follow in his example and see how we can better address their needs. And, in the world of social media and online marketing and such, it is a constantly evolving thing. So he is very on top of those changes and, improving and teaching us how to navigate those changes. And he is always looking for new expert coaches to come in and help and, best explain things. So, and Anesh made a great point. Hey, Anesh, how are you? And he said, like any service offering, there should always be a constant evolution. All of our business should also follow suit. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. So that goes along with what Ilse was saying. So I love that. I love those points, Ilse, that you brought up. Now, I know you guys touched on the mindset videos. And so in the 21-day challenge, we do not only help teachers and people get their own students online and charge a higher rate, but we also help teachers shift their mindsets, overcome their fears, get out of their comfort zone through, the mindset videos from James. And we also host a mindset session there in the challenge. And how did the challenge change or shift your mindset, if at all? I know both of you we're already kind of entrepreneurial people, business-minded people. I would say that's not completely representative of most of the people who come in the challenge. Many of them are just teachers, and we don't have as much business acumen, though we do have, all kinds of people join in from all different backgrounds. But I mean, did it help you improve or shift your mindset in any way, Amrita?
Yeah, so like you said, like Elsie and me, we already from that entrepreneur mindset. So you have to give it your best. You got to give it your all. There's like, it's this and nothing. So you go with that mindset, that you're going for it. But it can be very daunting for somebody who's going to do it for the first time. And in our community, we did have a lot of people. But that's what the mindset videos are addressed so well, in terms of perfectionism, which is a common problem across people. You don't have to be an entrepreneur for that. Even in your normal work, there's analysis paralysis, and this, paralysis with perfectionism. You never progress. So now, even in the corporate world, you always start with version 1, and version 1 can be the worst version, but at least you've started. But that gives you the point to know where you are, and you can progress from there. Then the other one, which is really good, is the one on imposter syndrome, which all of us face. Whether you're an entrepreneur or just a normal person, you just feel you're not good enough, even though you are. So a lot of people benefited from these because it put them in the mindset of progressing with what they had to do and not get stuck because of their mindsets.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Imposter syndrome and perfectionism are huge ones that so many of us face on this journey, all of us. And he does help us overcome those and just get started, like you said, Amrita. And I like what you said, like, entrepreneurs realize there's going to be a version 1 of things, and that is not always going to be the version, of your product or service. It's going to be evolving. And I think he he helps us create our version 1, which by ourselves is very difficult to even get started with because of all these blocks. And I think the mindset videos and trainings are instrumental to help us just get started, because if we can't
Yeah.
start, we can't get anywhere, right? So very nice. Thank you for sharing those ones, Amrita. And what about you, Ilzi? Did it help you with your mindset at all?
I think I agree with Amrita that, of course, this perfectionism and imposter syndrome. Actually, perfectionism maybe is easier even to kind of conquer. I didn't say this, but there's some famous entrepreneur said, if you are shipping a perfect product, you're shipping it too late. And there's such a wisdom in it. Because if it's too perfect, nobody needs it because time has passed and you've been developing. And so I think you really have to find this balance, but you just have to start, because the first product, it's like riding a bike or anything you do. It's gonna be it will be what it will be, but you're gonna give the best, so you can't do more. You're gonna give your best, so it is what it is. Because for me it was for me this imposter syndrome was teaching, because I have no problem in sales. I can sell anything to anybody, yeah. But I hadn't been teaching because I remember my first student, and I'm like, fake it until you make it. And after the class, he's happy and everything is happy, and I didn't die. Everything is fine. So, and so it's kind of, you really have to kind of believe in yourself and jump in, because you're not going to kill anybody. You're not going to cheat anybody. You're going to give your best. I had this about teaching, but when I started kind of, talking in English language about real estate, which I know really very well because I've been there 20 years, kind of, I know it upside down, and it's, oh, this is fun. This is going to be great. And it's like with all things. And also how I not conquered, but kind of made friends with imposter syndrome. When I heard I was taking a course with one millionaire lady who's made millions in online business, and she said imposter syndrome will never go away. Because, the more you kind of develop, it's kind of it helps you evolve. It helps you make progress. It just how much space you give it to it, give it to it. So I kind of, since then, I kind of, okay, it's my friend, okay, because it kind of, pushes you outside comfort zone, you learn and everything, but don't get obsessed with it, like with perfectionism. Keep them in the back seat, let them be there, but you are the driver. Don't let them become the driver. Then it's all okay, because they'll be there, all will be fear. It's kind of, nice combination, and you learn to live with it, and then it's kind of starts going.
Yeah, for sure. It starts to dissipate. And I love what you said. And like, make it your friend. I mean, it's healthy to have a dose of imposter syndrome. It shows that you care, and it shows that you're getting yourself out of your comfort zone, which is the way towards growth, right? So I think it's good when we feel imposter syndrome. It shows we're doing something that we're not quite comfortable with. And once we become comfortable with that, we're now a new person. We're at a new level in business or in life. So love that. Love that. Yeah, I had a lot of imposter syndrome because, unlike you, Ilzi, I did not know anything about the niche I chose. I just chose one that seemed interesting to me, and I had to just learn about it. But I soon realized, I can learn a lot about them just by speaking with them, and they don't need me to help them do their job. They need help with English communication skills. And yes, I can help them with that. And so this is another type of imposter syndrome that many people who take the challenge face. We come to find out. So good, guys. Thank you very much for sharing all those takeaways and insights and lessons learned. I hope it can be useful for some of the people watching today and to encourage them to join us. I am going to share with you guys in the chat the link to join the 21-day challenge. We are about to kick off on May 1st. This is our next round. And this link that I'm sharing with you actually gives you a 35% discount to join us in the challenge. And yeah, join us as soon as you can, because there are only 30 spots left on this discounted link. So I shared it here in the chat. Let me just make sure we can see it in all the platforms. And as we said, and as Amrita and Ilse touched on as well, don't wait. If this is what you're looking to do, don't wait. We always hear from teachers that they do wish they had just jumped in and gotten started with it. So yes, I shared it in all the platforms here. Okay, I maybe accidentally shared it twice somewhere, but yeah, you guys have it, and we do hope to see you in May. Yeah, if you have any other questions about the challenge, feel free to comment them below, and we can answer you whenever. And if you guys do have any questions for these two teachers, let us know now in the comments, or you can write in the comments later, and we can let them know as well. But yeah, it's been good to hear from you guys today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for, sharing. I think it's been valuable for people to hear. And we will definitely see you guys in our community. And yeah, we hope to see some of you guys in the May challenge. Don't wait. Don't rely on the companies any longer. If you have a dream of having your own thing going, your own students, getting them online, enjoying it, enjoying helping them, being able to get a higher rate, just join us. I see a question from Hannah. Hannah asks, is this program more focused on entrepreneurship or teaching skills? Is it good for people with a lot of teaching experience? Great question, Hannah. Love to answer that one. So in this business of having your own online teaching business, we have 3 pillars that James have identified, which are teaching, marketing, and sales. So the challenge covers the marketing and sales pillars of this business. Now, we do have some resources and some support on teaching, though it is not the main focus. So James does help you put together your program framework so that you are able to articulate your program and sell it to your potential clients, okay? But teaching is not covered in depth. Marketing and sales is covered in depth. And your question about, is this good for people with a lot of teaching experience? Absolutely, that helps a lot. This is also good for people with little to no teaching experience. We have had people come from all kinds of backgrounds, as you can see from the interview, and banking and this and that, and they weren't teaching before, and they decided they want to have their teaching business, and they have gotten started with us as well. So yes, it's useful to have a teaching background for sure, and it isn't even necessary. So let me know if that answers your questions. Thank you, Gail, for joining us today. Thank you. And if you guys do have more questions, feel free to leave them here. We can address them later. And I did leave the link that's going to give you the 35% discount. And there are only 30 spots left to join us in May. So don't wait. Don't put your dreams on hold. We don't have an unlimited time in our life, so we better get started. Thank you, Ilse, very much. Thank you, Amrita, so much as well. And we will see you guys around. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you,
Bye.
Tara.
Thank you,
All the
guys.
best. Thank you, James.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one.